Welcome, welcome, welcome to Garnet Queen Tarot, where we are inspired to rise. How is everyone doing today? What is going on in your life? What is making you happy on your path? Hello, hello, Aries. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, before we move forward, we have to definitely clear our energy and clear our space. So we inhale, exhale twice. Visitors, join in with us, please. We want to leave negativity at the door. We're going to be able to free our spirit. Ooh, let us move forward. Hey, yes. Ah, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Hello, Aries. How are you doing? Spirits, please speak to us on behalf of our wonderful Aries. Help them to gain the clarity and understanding that they need to proceed forward. Let them see the signs. Let them follow and listen to their intuition so they can rise above. And leave all negativity outside the door. We don't travel with that. Leave it out the door. If you want to pick it up on the way out, fine. If not, toss it in the trash. We're not our circumstances. We think beyond. And get in tune with self so we can rise and elevate to a new heightened level. Spirits, please release the messages and unveil what we're supposed to gain knowledge from. Speak to us. Yes. Here we go, here we go, here we go. It's a beautiful day today. The sun is shining. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Here we go. Follow the voice of your soul. Ooh, I love this card. Follow the voice of your soul. You know what this reminds me of? When people listen to their intuition, they hear messages they may not realize why at the time, but it has a definite meaning for them to gain clarity and understanding about proceeding forward. And let me tell you, last year, my son and one of his friends, she had her kids and her sister and the whole family, right? And they're riding. They, I guess they're going to a game or something, and they asked my son to go, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna stay home today. I don't feel like going out and being a part of that today. I don't know what it is. It's just something that I don't feel comfortable about." He said, "I don't know why." He said, "No, I'll stay back." And then her son said, "Well, I'm gonna stay with him," and she said, "No." She said, "You're going with me. We're going." So my son said, "Okay." He says they're coming back from the game later that day, and they contact him from the hospital to let him know that they were in a car accident and the car flipped a couple of times. He was like, "Mom, I don't know what it was, but I did not want to go." And her son got hurt, and they had to be airlifted to the hospital and things like that. And he was like, "It was something in me. The car was totaled." And I tell you, I got that feeling. It's like your kids have picked up on it too, in a sense, when they listen to their intuition and follow it. They don't have a complete explanation as of yet, but it was something that was gnawing at him. He said, "Mom, I don't know what it was." He said, "I think it's one of those feeling things that you get." He said, "Oh no, you passed it to me." That was his. He may not have picked up on intuition previously, but he said a lot of times growing up, something that I told him and he listened in that situation avoided him getting into trouble. I don't have all the answers, but nobody does. But when you follow and you get close and intertwine with your inner being, your inner power, your inner self, you start to pay closer attention when you listen and you hear messages that you can't decipher at the time. You can figure it out, work on it, but it's not until something transpires that lets you know this was what it was all about. This is what it was all about. And you realize, and it's like ding, 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 ding. That's why it's important to take the time to get to know who you are. And this is from a star ancestor. So it says, follow the voice of your soul. Just saying the words kind of, ooh, it's just a feeling. So I'm telling you, when your mind, your inner being, inner self is trying to tell you something, you need to stop for a minute and listen and go with the flow. Had God, I just say, I know that my source is there. I know that my children believe and have faith, and they are learning to get in tune with their self so they know what is the best route, option, and path for them. And when you get in tune with yourself, you receive messages. Sometimes you might hear something, you look around and see, and you don't see nobody talking to you. That's because your voice, your inner voice, is starting to speak to you because they want it to resonate with you that they will help to guide you with the angels. But you have to know who you are, what you're made of, and how to achieve your ultimate success because you have to listen. That is the key, is listening to yourself. Okay? Great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. See, when you go through things, let me tell you, when you go through things, you start to allow that clarity to be revealed to you. You start to recognize the path that you're on and the steps that are involved to getting to another level. Aries, you're starting to come into your own. Seriously. This card is so beautiful. It says, great teacher, great teacher, great teacher. Learn from spiritual experiences. My son now says that he's starting to pay attention to things he didn't pay attention to before. And that's what is on your plate as well, Aries. You're going to start paying attention to things you don't normally pay attention to or may overlook because you are growing right now. And you're learning more about who you are. But it's like a spiritual sense where you feel enlightened by certain things. You don't react to each and everything anymore because you're learning how to control yourself, control your emotions. Have you seen or noticed that sometimes people will do things that would normally piss you off? And now that you're more in tune, you say to yourself, I'm not going to argue with certain people. Some people just do dumb things, and I can't always get upset about it because sometimes people just don't know. Or some people may think it's funny and a joke to do certain things where you don't. Whereas in the past you might have been laughing. It's because you're taking certain things more seriously and you know that there are distractions placed before you to distract you, to get you off track. And now that you're becoming more alert and more in tune with self, you're realizing what's going on. They try to camouflage it, but you know what? You see it for what it is. You must be getting close to your destination because that's when the attacks come out. And sometimes you don't even understand why. Why? It's because it's their aim, their goal, their priority to stop you from achieving what it is that you're meant to do. So if you go astray, you miss the message. You miss the answers to your question, and therefore you miss the next level. So you have to be able to stay focused, steadfast on your journey to achieving what it is that you're seeking and aiming for. Where there's good, there's evil. And sometimes people just want people to fail, especially if they're having struggle in their lives. It's real difficult for them to be happy for you. So it's like through your climb, there are levels that are meant to destroy you. And it does destroy some people, but not you, because you are aiming high by any means necessary in climbing. You don't want to miss any more steps in your life. You want to hop over them. There's always somebody to try to trip you up, throw you off course, put you on a detour route. You got to go with the flow, go with the punches, and take them as they come, because you know what? They can't stop you. And now that you're becoming more spiritually inclined, I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. That is what you're going to be experiencing. But right now, you got to pick up and assign your experience to your steps so you can keep climbing. I'm on a new level. Take care of your needs. This is all about you. It's about working through obstacles. It's like putting up your defenses when necessary and learning from what is being taught to you. Have you ever had a moment where you said, okay, this happened to me, so next time I'm going to do it this way, or I'm going to do this because I know that's probably the better way? You know what that is? That's testing the waters. That's trying things out. That's finding out what works best for you. So even if you didn't get through initially, you know what other options you have available to you, and you apply it accordingly. Don't sit there sulking. You know what I love? I love the story always of the Wright brothers, because think about it. You're creating something that has never been. People have tried and failed. And you're telling people that you can fly. Think about how crazy that sounds at the time that this happened. You're telling people that you can get something that could fly like a bird and take people to and fro. I mean, they must have been the biggest joke ever. People on the floor crying and laughing and saying all sorts of things. And then they have the newspapers. Everybody comes out to see the first time they do it and they fail. Second time, those kind of ooh people that are snooty and laughing at them and calling them a joke. Think of all of the things that were created and all the doubt that was put out there for people so that they couldn't achieve those goals. But they stayed steadfast. They kept on their journey, and voila, like magic, it materialized into the vision that they had, that they applied and stuck to, no matter how many people didn't believe or see it. You have to remember, when a dream is placed in your heart, it becomes part of you. You actually start living it in your life and trying to figure out ways to make it a reality. You have butterflies in your stomach. You're thinking, if I try this, how many people have tried different things and it ended up working for them? It's so funny. I even saw, I don't know if it was Japanese, Chinese, but I know that I saw a commercial, or it could be Korean, and they had this like a fish type thing flapping back and forth on a baby's back. So the baby would still think that it was like a human touch on their back so they could sleep. And it kept them quiet. That's why they tell you so many things are in the mind. So many things are in the mind. And so many people pass on without fulfilling their purpose and being able to grasp hold of what's embedded inside of them and applying it to their world so other people could benefit from the knowledge and treasures that's buried inside of them. You have to be able to venture out of the realm of what people think. You have to stay focused on what it is you're wanting out of your life, your purpose, and keep working towards that goal and dream. And even in your dreams, you get information on tools and how it could help you to get to the next level if you listen. Sometimes I know, even for myself, you're sleeping and everything, and then all of a sudden in your dreams you see something that would benefit you, and you see yourself doing it and aiming for it, and you wake up and you remember that dream, and you take that information and you apply it to your life and see changes, and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I dreamt this. Remember, dreams are placed inside of your heart, not everybody's heart. And people can't tell you not to follow through with your dream when it was placed inside of you. That means don't follow your intuition. Now, nothing bad. Your dream should be only positive thoughts of elevation and love and sharing and guiding people through and teaching people and being your best self, not hurting people. So focus on your positive attributes, because it's going to take you further along than you actually believe in this moment, because you still have some doubt about how you proceed forward. But listen to your intuition, and it'll open those doors and windows for you to fly and walk through. Because I'm telling you, it says, take care of your needs. Whatever it is that you need, focus on it and take care of it. Fulfill it so it can help guide you through. And autumn, release the old and rest. Release the old and rest. Release the old and rest. Don't worry about what failures and what issues you've had in the past. You are working on bettering yourself and learning more. And you have to forgive yourself, because if you don't forgive yourself, who will? We all make mistakes. That's why inventors and creators, they go through things over and over. You think the light bulb just came just like that? Do you know how many ideas have passed through for people to expand on things and make it better? Good example. Excuse me. Good example is this. Think of because people are always creating and enhancing things. Think of the phone. That's a good example. I remember having the phone on the wall. That one I think we had was yellow. Yeah, it was yellow on the wall, and a rotary at that. And then you have, my mom used to be cooking in the kitchen, so she'd have the long coiled phone cord, and she could go to the stove. She could go this. That was that was like a major iPhone. That was like, oh my goodness, and she could go around with it in the house. Then you had the touch one, you remember? And it just had the numbers, and you just had to push the buttons. That was a big deal, because you didn't have to be rotary. A ding, a ding, a ding, a ding, a ding. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I remember our phone number back then. Oh my God, and it had letters. Phone numbers used to have the letters like CL, and then it goes into the numbers, but it had letters in the front. I remember that phone number. And when you hear people, in my days, people work to create and make things better. And the transformation of the phone and the cell phone. Remember that big old cell phone they used to put up to your ear? I remember that. That was in the 90s, right? Big old cell phone. And things have changed since then. We've got cell phones that you could hide in your pockets. You could do this, you could do that. It's just amazing. And that's transformational change. If you look at your pictures from back in the day, you'll see Well, I used to do my hair like this. I used to dress like this. I used to do this. And you're like such a different person from who you were back then. It's called growth. If you believe in something, you got to try it out. It doesn't matter the noise in the background. It only matters what you're hearing. So when you listen to hear, not to respond. So when you're hearing things and saying, do this, oh, you should do this, why not do that? Start researching and answering those questions, and it will land you right where you need to be because you have faith, you're dedicated, you're committed to seeking out those answers, so it will be unveiled to you. But if you're going through the process and you're deafening the experience, you have to learn from the experience, block out the noise. It's a lot of work. And you say, well, how could I hear if I'm blocking? It's what you're blocking. Because when you're in tune with yourself, you will have revealed so many attributes from yourself, so much capabilities of doing so many things. If you watch America's Greatest Talent or AGT, whatever, and you listen and you watch, there's sometimes beautiful sounds, beautiful voices, and you're looking and you're seeing how people embrace their talents. I mean, some of the stories are so heartwarming. I remember there was a kid that was being bullied in school, and he started focusing more on utilizing his body 100% to dance and to do gymnastics, and he taught himself. That's when you take your pain and you turn it into power. And that's what you are doing right now. Things that are meant to destroy you and hurt you, laugh at you, tear you down, you're now listening to yourself and turning it into your power so you can continue to grow and rise. So don't let yourself down. You got this. You got this. You put the work in, expect the reward, and just keep moving forward. This is a time of learning for you. Take care. This is Garnet Queen Tarot saying, be inspired to rise. Take the necessary risks. Listen to yourself, listen to your heart, and forge forward. You won't know if it's going to work until you try it. And if it doesn't work, you keep going and try something else. But continue to listen to yourself so you could achieve your best self, your best gifts. You are on this process. I know that people are trying to break down your walls, but because of the fact that you've blocked them out, they'll never get to the surface. They will never be able to tear you down because you are dedicated and faithful and true. Garnet Queen Tarot, be inspired to rise. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and focus on building you up. You don't have time for the noise and the nonsense and the chaos. You are working through some stuff, and as long as you stay steadfast, you will achieve those tasks, and you will rise accordingly. Take care. Talk soon. Never give up on you. I don't care who says what. Never give up on you, Aries. Take care.